Hello, YouTube. Good to see you. Testing my levels here. We got a crazy problem because we're back to the rigging that we were working on last night, and I've been working on it for several hours now, and it's driving me crazy. So I'm gonna share my frustration with y'all. So basically, things are not working the way that AutoRig Pro usually works, which is usually very, very good. Today, not so good. I think it might be the mesh, might be the model, might be that I just upgraded AutoRig Pro to Blender 4.0, and maybe all the kinks aren't totally worked out yet. That's another suspicion I have. But I have a few potential ideas as to why it's not working. So we're gonna go over some of that stuff. We're gonna see what's up. I took a break, had a snack, was walking around, got some caffeine-y goodness. Oh shoot! Sorry, echo from hell there for a second, possibly. And we're gonna try to solve this problem. See what's up. Alrighty, so join me as we descend deeper into the, what is it now, probably the 5th or 6th circle of hell, something like that, as we try to figure out how to rig this thing. So I'm going to go over some of the stuff and show you like what exactly I'm talking about here. First of all, okay, so here's my rig, and this is about as far as I got it just a little while ago. So I finally got with the AutoRig Pro tools. For the problem I was having was I rigged everything else manually, or not rigged, I weight painted everything else manually so that the arms would move and the legs would move, because this is like a wooden doll character. He's GENO, for those of you who don't know, from Super Mario RPG. But the problem was, okay, so he's a wooden doll, so I just weight painted all the weights manually because I just want them all to move as sections, because he's kind of basically like a robot. So that's easy, actually. So I did that. But then the fingers actually have to, you know, blend and move and bend like fingers. So usually AutoRig Pro is very good at this. And so I just couldn't get it to do it without completely ruining the mesh all around it. It would just grab everything. It wasn't weight painting correctly when I would try to do the auto skinning feature. So I played with the settings. I think I wound up with voxel at 12 resolution type 2, and I wound up with something kind of like this, and I thought it was finally fixed because this looks pretty good, right? But then problem is I noticed that when you bend this, the controllers are lagging behind the rest of the knuckles. So what that means is now if I try to bend this controller, it kind of doesn't work right, and then this one doesn't work right at all. So if I bend this one now, you can't really see it. But it's, yeah, see that? This is not what we want. This is no good. It's no bueno. So I'll show you again. Let me unbend this one so you can see what I'm talking about. So because as you bend it, the controllers fall behind. See, this is not really how this is supposed to be bending. I mean, it's sort of forgivable depending on what you would use it for, but it's, the more you bend it forward, the worse it gets, basically. And when you bend it out, it doesn't actually extend out correctly either. So like if I try to do this, see how they get lumpy? Yeah, so this is not what we want. This is not good enough. So, not really. So, this was surprising to me because, let me undo all that quickly. Well, so let me tell you the other problem first. So that was the problem I noticed later on. The other problem is that once I got the finger skinning worked out to at least the degree that it is here, now when you move the rest of the rig, the arms and legs kind of detach, which isn't supposed to happen and wasn't happening before. See how at the shoulders and even kind of at the knees and the wrists. So this is just super discombobulated. Again, You could maybe kind of get this to work, or even if you use it as FK instead of IK, you could probably kind of get it to work, but it's not ideal, and it's definitely not correct. It's not supposed to work like that. So just to show you what I mean, so here's another model that I recently used AutoRig Pro on, and just look at the difference with how it weighted and skinned these fingers. So this is almost like perfect. When it moves forward, it follows completely. They don't lag behind. Same thing when it goes out. It bends like this, bends like this. That's pretty darn good. So that's what we would want. And also, when you actually move him around, you know, he doesn't come disconnected from his parts. His shoulders stay where they're supposed to be. His hips stay where they're supposed to be, or the tops of his thighs, whatever you want to call it. So Conti's working well with AutoRig Pro, and the hands worked the first time I did it. They just automatically painted when I did selected weights, no problem. And that was in Blender, whatever the last version of Blender was, 3. I forget, but now this file is Blender 4. But yeah, so I wonder if maybe this is a problem with the AutoRig Pro update, that it's not really got all the bugs worked out yet. Or if maybe it's just because my mesh is weird. And that wouldn't really explain the problems I'm having with the IK after the skinning. Like, this is weird, and that wasn't happening before I did the skinning, I don't think. Unless I just forgot about it, or didn't notice. But, I mean, this is obviously atrocious. So I think part of the problem might be that I don't have my fingers set up correctly to begin with, so maybe that's making the process more difficult because, you know, they're curved. So that might make it a little bit trickier for it to solve the problem. I think generally it's made to be like in a T-pose, you know, with fingers totally spread out for this AutoRig Pro to work. I didn't think it needed that, but maybe it does need that. So I've got a few potential solutions here. I'm gonna keep this file as a reference, but I'm gonna go back to an earlier file before I had any of the rigging done, and I'm already in weight paint mode here. So the rig itself is created with AutoRig Pro, but it's not weighted to anything yet. So that's what I'm going to be working on, and going to see if I can now make this work correctly. So yeah, join me if you wish. Feel free to chat, feel free to ask questions or call me names, whatever you want to do. It's all good. And I'm just going to be working on this, hanging out. We're listening to Game Chop, Zelda, and Chill, as usual. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be working on right now. So hopefully I can figure this out tonight. I'll be very happy if I can. My last solution, which maybe I should just try right off the bat, is what if I just exported this model back to Blender 3 and tried this with the AutoRig Pro Blender 3. But in order to do that, I have to uninstall the new AutoRig Pro, and I have to reinstall the old one, and I have to export this as an FBX and then bring it back to, you know, it's a lot of chaos. So I'm just going to assume that maybe it's not AutoRig Pro's update, and maybe it's just because my mesh is kind of funky, and see if I can, you know, get this to work. I think the reason why it might be disconnecting from the shoulders and stuff is because, like, for the shoulder bones, I don't actually have anything connected to the shoulders, unlike with the other character, and so that's making it, I don't think that would make it disconnect the way it was though, so I'm not really sure. We'll see. But yeah, so I think my first step for trying to fix this is to just see if I can get the fingers working first and then rig everything via weight painting, or maybe I'll just rig everything via weight painting again, because I think the other problem is I can't even get the skinning to work unless I start weight painting this. But we'll see if I can. So first I'm just going to parent this to the thing. with empty weights, or empty groups rather. Okay, and so now it has this mesh, in theory, has all the right vertex groups, and we can weight paint. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to the skin, and I'm gonna choose the same kind of thing I did before with voxelized 12 resolution. I'm going to I don't think I need any of that. Selected bones only, selected vertices. I'm gonna make sure I have the right selected vertices. I do, just the hands. And then we're gonna go to the bones and do the same thing. Where is it? Let's see here. Sorry, give me just a second here. Just checking to make sure my YouTube is not also messing up now, because I thought it was streaming. It's just giving me weird data, and I'm not sure why, because I know that's wrong. But that's okay. I'm not gonna worry about that. Yeah, hopefully that's not an issue. Anyway, so now that this is parented to the rig, I'm going to try to select the bones just for the hands. By going into pose mode. And now I can see these here, and I think I also adjusted like where the bones sit a little bit, because I think that could have also been some of the problem. Probably not most of it though. So now I have just the hand bone selected on pose mode, and if I go back to object mode and go to here, go to edit, we have only the vertex groups of the hands selected. So we're going to go back to the rig, shift click back to the rig, go back to pose mode, all that's good. And now we have here selected bones and vertices only, so it won't do anything else. Oh, let me make sure I get rid of those two, the facial ones. Okay, we're good. So now, first moment of truth, we're gonna see if this works, and at least skins the hands with proper weights. Meshes already contain armature modifier, clear them before binding. No. And then meshes already contain vertex group, remove them before. No, we want to use those. Now this is an interesting problem, because maybe it needs to do that. Maybe it needs to make its own stuff. That could actually be the issue. So I'm going to keep that in mind. We can always go back to this. Let's try it like this though. Let's see if it works. So I'm hit OK. Yeah, because I think that was the same thing I did with the Conti one, because I had already rigged him manually, or manually painted his body and stuff, and I was just doing his hands. So I definitely didn't get rid of the whole rig, so it should work. And make a new one. Okay, so let's see how this is looking. So we're gonna go back to pose mode, and whoa, where's our rig? It should be here. Uh-oh, I think we created a glitch unintentionally. Does this work at all? Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and do that again, because I think I know what happened. See, it's very finicky. This program can be very strange. Okay. So let me do this again. Got that. Go to pose mode. and then see, it's because we already have this eyeball selected. So can I undo that eyeball? There we go. Okay, so that was the problem. I did it before when I wasn't in pose mode, and this is only supposed to show the bones so that you can select them for the selected bones only mode. So for some reason that created a glitch. Okay, if the AutoRig Pro guys ever watch this, maybe fix that because that was damaging just now. Alright, so luckily I knew what was going on though. So we're gonna go into pose mode first this time, and now we're gonna hit this eye, and now we can see our rig. And now we're gonna select that, see our bones instead of just the rig. So select those, okay, and we have selected only. Make sure the face pieces are off again, just so that doesn't interfere. Scale fix, selected vertices, selected bones, we've got everything selected. Gonna bind. And see, it doesn't give me the option like it did before, so it only does that the first time. So if I want to try that as an alternative, we'll have to reload this file. So I'm going to try to remember not to save this file while I'm trying this stuff out. Okie dokie. So now we're going to select our rig. Gonna go to pose mode, gonna deactivate the eye. We still have our rig controls now. Glitch is fixed. Now the moment of truth. Let's see how these do or don't deform. And see, this is one of the problems that I'm getting with this Fox Slice thing in general, is that it just doesn't even skin it. It didn't do anything, which is very strange. So in the past when this happens, I play with the settings and it does seem to fix it. Now, one other issue could be, did I forget to go back to object mode? Did I forget to give this an armature? Nope, it's there. Okay, so I don't know why it would be an issue. As far as that goes, it's not that issue. Okay, so we're going to select our mesh again, and then we're going to select our rig. We're going to go back to pose mode. We have everything selected for the hands, just double checking. Select the bones only, all that stuff. So now I'm just going to try messing with the voxel resolution. So I'm going to move it down to like, before I was having luck with multiples of 4 for some reason. Let's just try 8. Let's just see if it actually will bind it this time at least. Okay, go to pose mode, turn that eyeball off, select that rig, nothing, again nothing. So this really makes me start wondering, is it because I haven't added anything to the other vertex scripts yet? But I was having this trouble even before when I did, so that's probably not it. It's probably just really finicky, and I'm not sure why that it would be. Other than maybe that it's just kind of glitched a bit. So I'm gonna try again. Okay, so hands are still selected, all that good stuff. Let's try bringing the voxel resolution all the way down to like the bottom. Let's do 3. And let's just see if it does anything at all. When we bind, okay, and let's go to pose mode. Nothing. Nothing. You see this AutoRig Pro? What's going on, guys? Probably my own fault. Probably just not using it right. But then again, it worked for me before, so maybe not. So, gonna go back to before we skinned it, try this again. So I'm gonna go ahead and just try type 1, but actually, you know what? Screw voxelize. Let's just do heat maps. Let's uncheck split parts, and let's just see if it'll even do it with heat maps. Because in the past, when I was trying this, heat maps at least would do it every time, but they would just do it really badly. So let's try heat maps. Selected vertices, selected bones. Facial features deselected. Okay, should be good. Let's bind. Okay, let's go to pose mode. Let's select a bone. See, now this is what heat maps does every time, so at least it bound it, but it's just awful. Like, obviously this is a mess. So I don't know why this is happening, and I tried a lot of things to try to solve this just with heat maps. One of the things I did was increase the scale, didn't make any difference. I also tried a bunch of different settings. Yeah, I don't know why, it's just a mess. It's just not working at all. And same thing when I tried to do the whole character with heat maps, it just would not do it at all. It would not give me proper results. So this does make me kind of wonder if this is like Blender for the update of AutoRig Pro. Look how weird that is. For Blender 4 is just not totally functional yet. Maybe it's glitchy. They say it works, so I'm not sure how much they've tested it. Blender 4 did just, come out recently, as did the update for AutoRig Pro, so maybe that's the problem. I could probably Google and see if other people are having similar issues, but for now I'm just going to keep troubleshooting, because like I said before, I'm going to go back to how when this was unbound, and I'm going to try, because before at least I got better results, as I showed you earlier, with voxel resolution. So we're going to go back to voxel resolution. We're going to go to type 2. We're going to crank it up to 12 again. Actually, let's just bring it down to 11, just see if that makes any difference. And then we're going to try to bind it again and see if it'll at least bind this time. Because before, the only difference, the only thing I did different to get voxel resolution to actually bind was just change the resolution, and eventually it did bind. But a lot of the times it just doesn't even do anything. It's very strange. Okie doke, let's try this again. I'm really hoping we get something, even if it's not good. I hope it's at least binding this time. So, grab this controller. And again, it's just not even binding. So very frustrating. Okay, so let's go back to type 1. Let's bring it all the way down to 3. Let's make it as different as possible. Did I just do that already though? Wasn't that what I did last time? Let's bring it to 4 and see if it'll at least bind. Okay, so we have it selected, selected, selected. Everything should be good. Let's bind. Test that rig really quick. Oops. Aha! So we got it to bind, and this was kind of the first result I got last time as well. As you can see, it's not correct, but it's much better than the heat map was. Although that's, a pretty low bar, as you can see. But it at least bound at this time. So we're on the right track, I think. So this is binding now. Let's undo that. Okay, let's make sure everything's selected. Now I'm just gonna adjust the voxel resolution. So if it worked at 4, and we want as high a resolution as possible, let's keep it on type 1. Keep it on voxelized, and we'll just try it at 12 and see if that works this time. So I'm going to go ahead and bind it. Oh, see, it's taking a long time. That makes me worry, because sometimes when you try to do voxel resolution 12, it just crashes, or it will just take an seemingly infinite amount of time. So I might have to reload this file. I think it's only when you do it on type 1 voxel resolution 12 though. Yeah, that is definitely taking a long time. That's way longer than it should normally take. Sorry if this is not the most entertaining stream. I figure this could probably help someone else who's trying to work with AutoRig Pro right now though, with the update to Blender 4, if that's what's going on here. And the troubleshooting could be useful to somebody, I don't know. It's definitely useful to me. I gotta figure it out anyway, so just hang out with you guys while I do. Yeah, that's really troubling. I don't think it could possibly be taking this long. So I think I'm gonna have to reload this file. Give me just a second. Let me just reload this file. I don't think that's gonna work. And that's GENO base UV rigged number 2. So I'm gonna close that. One second. Sorry. GENO base UV rigged number 2. We're opening that back up. And oh, it's all the way back here. Okay. So I'll have to get this ready real quick. Okay, so display's back on. Sorry about that. So we've reloaded the file. So I have to kind of set this up a little bit. I'll make sure this doesn't happen again. It'll be ready to go next time. Oh, I forgot. I have to do each one piece by piece. Okay, let's get rid of all these extraneous parts for the moment. And let's select the hands. And we'll go into object mode. Our rig's already done. Oh, but that means that was before we edited our bones for the rig, so that's a slight hiccup. 2. Okay. That's okay, that won't take long. So let me just select these. I know I need to bring the knuckles up a bit. Okay. I know this one's off a bit. And this one. This one. And this one. How's that? Wow, look how high up this one is. That's totally wrong. How did that get there? Did I move that? I guess I must have. Nobody else could have. Okay, a little better. Let's move that thumb one in too. I remember that was out of whack too. It's just way off where it doesn't need to be. too far out there. Okay. Move that back slightly. And then I want to move all of these up slightly so that you're getting a better pivot point for those. This is all mirroring to the other side, so I just have to fix one side. Not a big deal. So we're going to do that there, and there as well. And that should be good. Okay. So match to rig. So now I'm going to save this. Oh wait, let me real quick parent this to the rig with empty groups. Okay, so now we're all set up, ready to go. And let me save this as a stream test. So I can keep that separate. Okay, there we go. Alrighty. So I have those vertex groups selected. I have this selected, and I can go to pose mode. I can go to my Auto Rig Pro, and I can go to skin, get rid of the facial features, don't split parts, don't do any of that, select the vertices and bones only. Oops. Running in pose mode? So why is this not working? Oh, it is. Okay, it was just not visible. Okay, so select all those, and we're gonna select scale fix, get rid of preserve volume, and I'm going to go to voxelized. Let's try type 1 again, and this time, yeah, let's just do 8. Let's just do the base. No, I think the base never works, so let's do 10 and hope it doesn't crash again. Okay, so bind. And so we have this question again. Maybe this time I'll try to let it make its own stuff, remove the modifiers and just put its own stuff in, and then maybe it'll work better. So why not? Since we're testing it and I just saved a copy that's all set up now, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Oh no, I was I should have left them click to try that. My mistake. Oh well, we're trying it the old way. That's okay. We'll see if it works. Mistakes upon mistakes. Come on, auto rig. Do your thing and do it correctly for once. I shouldn't say that. It worked great with all the Blender 3.8 or whatever I was using it with. It's just now the Blender 4.0 updated. I don't know. It seems like that's why it's not working, but we'll see. And it's still taking a long time even on voxel resolution 10 for type 1. Hopefully I don't have to close it and it crashes again. It just freezes. Because that's what happened at 12. I didn't think it would happen again at 10. It's not looking great though, I gotta admit. This is much longer than it usually takes. Yeah, it's not looking good, guys. Come on, Blender. Oh, I think it did it. Okay, let's check the results. Moment of truth. One of many. I have a feeling. Oh, okay, so we have something. It did, in fact, skin it. Hey, we got something. Now see, it's still lagging. So this is not ideal. This is the problem that we had initially with the other one. But at least we got to skin. How bad is this? Yeah, it's about as bad as it was before. Maybe a little bit better. It seems like it's a little less deformed, but clearly that's not Oh, you can move it though. With G. You don't have to just rotate. Oh, okay, so that's maybe a little bit more workable. It's still not ideal. But you know, that's reasonable. Let's see how the thumb's working. That's pretty rough, but let's just keep going. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, so we might be able to fix that with weight painting. We might be able to go in and, you know, manually fix some of those weights. So I'm not gonna say it's a total loss yet, but that's still not great. Okay, but we at least got that working. So let's see how the rest of this rig is. So nothing else is rigged yet, but the hands do move. Okay. So one problem is I have to add the wrists to the hands as well, because those are supposed to be one piece. That's fine. Okay, so because we got at least a halfway decent result, which is more than we've got so far, I'm just going to save this incrementally as 03. And actually I should have saved it on 2 and then started a new file, so let me save it incrementally again. So 3 is the standard of that, and this is going to be our working file. 4. That's the default pose, it's that. Hang on a second. Oh, there we go. The move needed to be removed too. Okay, so I'm going to try to add the weights in now and see if at least, if it'll at least move the body without the arms disconnecting like it was before and the legs being wonky and all that stuff. I'll call this a victory, because I can always adjust those little weight paints and I can probably work with the wonky fingers. Let me do one little other test with like the pinky finger, because that one's the most curved in. So let me just see how bad it gets when this thing gets out of sync. That's pretty bad, but if you pull it down, it's not as bad. You can kind of work with that. That's not too bad. That's kind of doable. Okay. Good to know, good to know. 0. Let's get to weight painting. Gonna look at our vertex groups. First thing I want to do right off the bat is find the right hand. There's the left hand. Where's the right hand? Hand R. Okay, let's go into the weight paint. Okay, so I see that's basically what AutoRig Pro did for the weight for the hand. Okay, that's interesting to see it like that. Let me first, so this is the thing that I want to do. I want to deselect everything, and I just want to select this ball part, and I just want to go to this. Actually, I should have done that to begin with. So Alt A, and then I'm just going to select this ball inside, and I'm just going to assign that at a full 1.0 weight, because I just want that to move all with the hand. That's basically going to be the pivot point for the hand. Rue MC says go to bed. Is it late where you're at, Rue MC? It's not late where I'm at. But I appreciate the concern. It's only 9 o'clock here, or 10 o'clock, sorry, 10 o'clock here. Not sure where you're at, buddy. Anyway. Appreciate it though. Where TF you at? Rue MC says. I'm in California, in America. Where are you at? Are you in Brazil? All my Brazilian fans always get mad at me. Well, they don't get mad at me, but they always tell me how it's like 5 hours difference or something. my Brazilian watchers. I don't know if I can call them fans necessarily, but they're watchers. Alright, we're gonna try this rig. Let's grab this and just see what happens here when it starts moving the hand. Okay, so at least now it's moving the ball with the hand on that one. And what happens when we rotate the hand? That's not terrible, that's a decent rotation. I don't hate that articulation. We can work with that. Rue MC says, not Cali, you can get cancer from everything there. In California, is that true? Oh, all your pillows. Yeah, but that's just because in California it's the law that if your pillows can give you cancer, then they have to put it on the tag. But the pillows still give you cancer everywhere else too, they just don't say it on the tag. So I wouldn't worry about that stuff too much though. I think it's a little, you know, like there was that recent study that came out that says aspartame gives you cancer, but the study was like they took a bunch of cells in a laboratory condition and they just doused it with aspartame for like days with constant flow of aspartame. Like you would never be able to get that much aspartame in your body at one time, in your cells specifically. So it's not really like, it's just saying that there's a potential there for something bad to happen. But you know, different carcinogens are, you know, different levels of danger or whatever. Rue MC says, yeah, but McD's can give you cancer and it says nothing about it on the menu. Yeah, it does. In California it does, because it's the law, they have to tell you. Any fast food place says that in California. It says it's because of acrylamide though, or whatever that is. It's made of yoga mats. No, that's just how it tastes. It's food though, believe it or not. But yeah, acrylamide is it's like when you char a burger and the char is on the meat, that can technically, you know, is a carcinogen, because it's just, you know, it's like smoke basically. It's like burning something. You live in Acadia. I don't know where Acadia is. Antonio V says, okay, this is funny. I don't know what I'm doing here. Haha, I was just watching a clip from the Amazing Digital Circus, but you have a Deku's profile photo. So you got a new sub. Sick, I'm glad you like Deku scrubs. I actually made that Deku scrub. It's a here, I'll show you, since you like Deku scrubs. And this is kind of a boring stream because I'm just working on rigging. I'll make it a little more interesting. I'll show you that Deku scrub. So that was actually for a Majora's Mask series I did, for illustration series. This is it. That's my Deku scrub. I also did the Zora and the Goron Link. So I hope you like Zoras and Gorons too, Antonio V. It's just for you. And thanks for the sub. Much appreciated. I'm glad you found me totally randomly and were pleased with my Deku scrub. That's a pretty great way to get a new sub as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, closing that, we'll get back to work. I'm procrastinating now. Alright, so we've got a little bit of success here. I'm gonna try to see if I can. Oh yeah, I was gonna paint the rest of this. Okay. Rue MC says, I almost want to slide into her DMs. Whose DMs? The Zora? That's a boy, dude. Sorry, I hate to break it to you. The fish person? They're all boys, unfortunately. Sorry, sir. Okay, so we got that wrist. Let's go back over and do this wrist with the left hand. Vertex group. Ramsey says, why this always happen to me? I don't know what to tell you. You're just an open-minded person. You see beauty in all things. Let's just leave it at that. Okay, so that one should be even with the other now. And so we're gonna go up to the forearm. And this is my noviceness with AutoRig Pro. I still don't know whether I should be using the forearm stretch or the forearm twist. I always assume stretch, because it seems to work. Maybe it doesn't matter. They probably both kind of work towards the same group, and there's no just forearm group, as far as I've seen. So I think it's forearm stretch. That's what I've been going with. If it's wrong and you guys know for sure, let me know. And I won't do that anymore. But as far as I know, it's correct. And I'm just gonna assign that 100% weight. Oops, I don't want to get the wrist down. That's the problem. There we go. So assign that the weight. Okay, looks good. So let's do the forearm stretch L. Same thing. See, it's easy to rig robot characters and wooden puppet characters because you don't actually have to paint the weights, you just kind of assign them. It's pretty handy. Rue MC says, I don't see the beauty in rigging, it's the bane of my existence. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. It's not great. AutoRig Pro usually makes it pretty easy though, but it's not working for me tonight. I don't know what it is. I'm still guessing it's the Blender 4.0 update. Antonio V says, haha, cool. I really like Majora's Mask. It's my favorite Zelda game. It's one of my favorites too, for sure. It's definitely like one of, I was gonna say the most unique one, but maybe that would be Link's Awakening. But it's definitely very unique, and it's very dark, which is cool. Oh shoot, did I accidentally, I assigned both of them. See, that's why I gotta make sure to hit Alt A before I select them. Okay, let's do that again. So L, R, L, R. Okay, good stuff. So now let's go up to, it should just be arm stretch L and R, and they're right next to each other. So arm stretch L is going to be this one. Oh, I wonder if that would solve my problem if I assign the shoulder to be the ball and then just let arm be. Yeah, that might actually be a good idea. Let me try that. So I'm going to assign just that part. And then for R, going to assign just this part, and then for shoulder I can assign the sockets. If I can even find the shoulder, there we go, shoulder R, assign that, and then shoulder L should be not far, there it is. Assign that. I don't know if that's gonna work as intended, but we could give it a try. It's probably worth a try. So I'm gonna assign both of these to the single spine, because that's all one piece. The head is slightly tricky. I just need to leave out the jaw and the pupils. No, I think the jaw and the pupils. And then get the hat, get this, get that. So let's go to, oh, yeah, let's go to, I think I deselected the torso already. Let's go to, what are we looking for? Head? It's around here somewhere. There it is. Okay, so assign that. Ah, almost forgot that part. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna go to jaw. We're gonna assign the jaw. Oops, not that. RuMC says, what is Zelzada? It's what's his name? Shoot, I forgot his name. Robin Williams? Robin Williams' daughter. And yes, Antonio V says it's a Nintendo game. Yeah, I guess it's also that. You could say that. And then, is that the one with the Robin Hood looking dude? Pretty much. Gamer JC, hello, I'm here, free again. Not here again, but free again. Good to see you, Gamer JC. I'm glad you're free. Antonio V. Haha, yes, that one. RuMC says, you're lucky you get to use Blender. I gotta use the worst program known to man, 3ds AES. Why do you have to use 3ds Max? You mean like for school or something? Blender's free. Everybody can use Blender. Okay, thigh stretch L, we're gonna do all these and assign. And then we're gonna do thigh stretch R, all these and assign. And because I want him to kind of be like a wooden puppet, I don't really want him to have a lot of flexibility. I'm just gonna do the whole leg stretch R and L as one piece, basically. So this is R. And this is leg stretch L. Okay, and I think that's everything actually. Oh, except one other thing. Yeah, it's one of the eyeball trackers for the pupils. That's the one last thing I have to assign. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's probably towards the top. Yeah, here's all the eye stuff. I don't think it was IL. I think it was there's a different one. Reference track L. I reference track L, which is going to be this one. Assign. Did I select anything else? Dang it. There we go. Assign. And then I reference track R. Okay, now we should be done with assigning the weights. So I'm going to save that, and now is the real moment of truth. We're going to try and see if this rig works it out at all. But not without checking the chat first. RuMC says, I mod some AF game. You mod some AF game. Had to teach myself, and it doesn't support any other program. Gotta use the outdated, unsupported 2016 one that has issues never fixed from the 90s. Really? That's kind of strange. You could always just export it as an OBJ or FBX or whatever. What is 3D Max? Does it need to be a 3D Max file specifically? You should be able to export it if it uses FBX or OBJ or whatever. But I don't know what game you're talking about. You mod a game. It's not Jedi Academy, is it? That'd be crazy. I remember people used to mod that game like crazy. There was all kinds of skins. It has its own exporter. Oh, I see. So it does have to be some sort of 3ds Max file. That's weird. Huh, what a weird problem. Is 3ds Max not a good program? I don't know anything about it. I always use Blender. I just know the name. It's its own file format. Ah, I see, I see. Maybe there's a converter. I might be able to find something like that. Okay, so I've at least got the shoulders sticking to the body now. That's slightly better. And the legs aren't... Yeah, the legs are getting disconnected quite a bit. So this is still not by any means perfect, but I think it might be fixable, kind of. Wow, look how the wrist ball is getting all over the... What the hell is happening to that? That shouldn't be happening. I think I accidentally added that to a different vertex group that it shouldn't be, because it's not happening on the right side. Or the left side, rather. The left side is kind of staying put. I definitely accidentally added that to something it shouldn't be. Here, let's go back to object mode. We gotta check that. We just gotta check these I must have added, I bet I had added it to hand L or something by accident. I wasn't paying attention. But this is at least like, this isn't like a great rig the way it's being all wonky, but it is kind of usable. I think I could at least make use of it now where it's at. It's better than the other one was for sure. But yeah, AutoRig Pro still giving me some problems for sure. Yeah, see, this is I accidentally added this to this, so easy fix. Let's get rid of that. Okay. There we go. Let me check some of these other ones while we're here. Yeah, and I wonder if I could solve that in a similar way with like a 3-bone leg, because I know AutoRig Pro offers that. So maybe that will be my solution for the legs, and then that'll work even a little bit better. It'll be even more, a little bit more usable. So let's save that. Let's test this now. Make sure that wrist isn't flying everywhere like it was before. Yeah, so it's at least staying put now. It's still not... Yeah, I don't understand why they come so much separated. I guess it's just because I'm keeping them as separate parts. But in the past when I've done that with like other robot characters, it never comes to apart like that. Like there's never space between the pieces. Like this is clearly incorrect. So I'm not sure why that's happening. It's definitely an error. This is not supposed to be like this. I'm just not sure what the cause of that error is. So if I move these shoulder pieces in... Oh, that's not great. I might have to fix where those bones are. If I'm... Oh yeah, that makes sense, okay. So that'll be part of the fix. And then let me add a 3-bone leg. What I make these for, RuMC says? You mean what am I making this for? This is just this was something I made to use as a base for an illustration, and now I'm just rigging it because I thought I have this whole model, I might as well rig it. But it's turned out to be quite a hassle. Let me see. What's the first step here? Yeah, so let me add the 3-bone leg first of all. So let me go to rig, let me go to edit reference bones, choose the leg, limb options, and I think if I add a 3-bones leg, that might solve some of these problems that I'm having. So what I'm gonna do then is make it so that this is this from now on, and this will be the socket piece. Let me see where that ends. Something like that. And what is the name of this bone? Thigh B ref R and thigh B ref L. Okay. And then match to rig. Oh, there's one other thing I need to edit before I do that, actually, which is these shoulders. So now I'm going to move this so that this is kind of the same as that leg, actually. Should that still be there? Yeah, I guess so. And then this will be here. I think that makes sense. Something like that. Okie doke, so let's match to rig. Rue MC, oh hey Darth Aileen, what's up? Hello. Rue MC says you got an art station or something I can check out. Yeah, that was actually what I showed earlier when I showed the Deku scrubs. I'll show you again. It's just same as my YouTube channel. It is artstation.com/DanielBruno. Oh, it's just Daniel Bruno, not Daniel Bruno. My YouTube is Daniel Bruno Art. This one's just Daniel Bruno. But yeah, you can check it out here. Lots of noodles and doodles. This was the illustration that I used this model for as a base. Some Dragon Ball goodness. Character design stuff. Yeah, just check that out at artstation.com/DanielBruno. You can see that. I think I linked it in my description too, probably. Maybe I forgot. Darth Aileen says, I just watched Godzilla and it was amazing. Surprisingly really good story. Which Godzilla was that? Was that like one of the recent ones? Or you mean like the old one? Is there a new one that just came out? I might be out of the loop on that. Well, I do. RuMC says, oh thank god you're not one of those pages with 16,000 images of weird fan art. Well, I definitely do weird fan art. There was definitely weird fan art there, but it's just not 16,000 pages. But yeah, I do have some of that, for sure. Darth Aileen says, Godzilla -1 just came out in theaters. It's Japanese. Oh, I didn't even know there was a new Godzilla movie. That's cool. It was really good, you thought? Really good story? Might check that out. I haven't watched a Godzilla movie in a long time. What was I doing? I can't even remember. Oh yeah, I was gonna re-weight paint those bones now that I added the 3 bone leg, and I already forgot what the name of that upper thigh. It's like thigh something B. Thigh BL and thigh BR. I know it's hidden in here somewhere. His fingers are all at the bottom. Forearm. Okay, we're at the legs. Thigh stretch R. Where's thigh BL and thigh BR? I think that's what it is. I'm not seeing it. Unless it added it somewhere else. Maybe it's towards the top. Because it's a new piece that I added. There's thigh twist R. Uh-oh, I hope it didn't not add the vertex group. I think it did, I'm just not seeing it. I wish you could search. Why is there no search feature for this? Or is there, and I'm just, I don't know where to, is it here? Sort by bone hierarchy. Would that work better? Thigh, thigh, leg, leg, leg. I feel like it should be there. Here, let me check the name of that bone again. Let's go to edit reference bones. This bone is called thigh B ref R. Thigh B ref L. So where is it on the vertex groups? I hope it, I might have to reparent it. I hope that doesn't mess it up. Okay, let me save that real quick. Oh wait, not like that. Match to rig. Now let me save that, and now let me just, I guess just reparent, deparent, and then reparent the rig. Oh no, because it'll be empty again. Wait. Shoot. Why isn't it here? Let's see. Rue MC says at Darth Hellion, what do you mean? Godzilla is literally just big lizard that walks on Japanese city and destroys it for the second time in the century. It's pretty cool. Sometimes there's a bit more of a story to the Godzilla movies. I don't know. Depends. There was that really bad one in the 90s. That one definitely had a story. The Jeff Goldblum one. The skinny Godzilla. I wonder if I can just type the bone name verbatim and add the vertex group, and if that'll just work. I think it does. Yeah, let me make sure I got the bone name right. So again, this is thigh underscore B underscore ref dot R. Thigh underscore B underscore ref dot R. Okay, thigh underscore B. Just copy that. Okay, let me go back to match to rig. Darth Hellion says, is this Blender 4.0? I'm always scared to update in case they move too many things. Yes, it is Blender 4.0, and if you use AutoRig Pro, maybe wait to update. Or at least keep the old version on your Blender 3, because I think there might be some glitches with AutoRig Pro's update for 4.0. I don't think it's working quite right yet. At least not in my experience. That's the only problem I run into, though. Oh, and also, this I hate. Everything else about Blender 4 I like so far, except for this one stupid thing. Look at this. This is crazy. I'll show you. If you go to modifiers, now when you want to add a modifier, You have to search like with nodes. It doesn't just show you all the modifiers in a list anymore. I don't know why they did that. I much would prefer to just see my options in a list than have to search for something specific. It's very annoying to me. So I don't know what that was about. I don't know why they did that. Other than that, everything about Blender is great. But yeah, that one little change, I don't like that. It's very weird. Oh right, I need to add some new vertex groups. Okay, so first one. Okay. And while I'm at it, let me just weight paint it. Okay. And then let me add another one, but make it L. And then weight paint that one. And in theory, I think this will work. Now I just need to go back to the regular thigh stretch and then remove that. Okie dokie, that should actually be all that I need to do there. Let's give it a shot, see if it's better at all. Ooh, it is not. I think it's just because those bones aren't parented though, so they're just staying there. I might just need to go parent those bones and then it'll actually probably work. This is still super janky as a rig. I mean, it's obviously there's pieces flying off that shouldn't be flying off. I still have no clue why it's doing that. I'm assuming this is just a glitch. It's never done that when I've done this before. So that's why I think it's a glitch. And this is the first time I've used AutoRig Pro for Blender 4. So that's just my guess. Maybe if the AutoRig Pro guys see this, fix it. But thank you for putting out the update so quickly for Blender 4. I do appreciate it, but it's not working. Fix it. Sorry, don't mean to be a nag. Anywho, what did I need to do? Oh yeah, fix the bones. Okay, so I think this is just not parented because I just added it. That's my guess. So if I click this, connected. Is that the only option? Can't I just... Okay, that throws a little bit of a wrench into things. If I can only do that by connecting it. Is it parented to this one? That one in theory should already be parented. And it seems like it is, so I have no idea why those... Oh, maybe my plan just didn't work. Maybe those vertex groups just didn't actually get assigned to those bones. That could be the issue. Okay, well if that's the case, I don't really know what to do other than just redo all of the weights. That would be the only solution that I can think of. Just with its own, just let it assign the groups themselves. I don't know why it doesn't work though, it seems like it should work. It's the right name. Is there anything else that links it to a bone other than the name? Does it actually have some sort of a other like if I were to select it's like the root. Is there something here that actually ties it to the bone other than the name? I always thought it was just the name, but if there is something that specifically ties it to the bone, that could be the problem. No, it doesn't seem like it. I think it is just the name, so I don't understand. If I sort by bone hierarchy, will they go in the right place? That would answer the question, wouldn't it? They don't. So yeah, they're not associated with the bones. That's the problem. Okay, so there is something else that's actually associating each vertex group to the bone other than the name. Yeah, I might just have to redo everything. Or not everything, but just the, no, yeah, that would be everything, wouldn't it? Yeah. Because I have to deparent the armature. Okay, so maybe there's a way I can just not do that. Just kind of find a way to make this group the group of that bone. Man, what a pain. What happens if I just assign those hips to the legs again? Maybe that bone doesn't need to have it assigned to have an effect on keeping things in place. That's probably just wishful thinking, but you never know. Could give it a try if I can't get those groups to work anyway. Because the alternative will be just redoing it all, which, you know, if I have to, I'll do it, but it was hard to get everything working as good as it is, honestly. I hate how they fly off so much. Like, that's crazy. I would never lift it that high anyway, like during the animation, so it doesn't really matter. But even like the way, I don't even like the way that when his legs are bending, I guess I would just have to move that socket to the top part instead of having it associated with the bottom, and that would make it better. And then this is just an issue of the poles. But where are the controls for the poles? Did I lose them? Or are they just hidden somewhere? I think it's right there. Yeah, so that's just a pole issue. That's not a big deal. Although that is acting a little funny with that shoulder. That's not quite what I wanted to do either. Oh, but it's fixable. Okay. That actually, that's probably fine. Well, I think I could work with this. It's definitely not ideal, but it is relatively functional. Just gonna try to see, I think the last thing for tonight is to try to see if I adjust these groups, if those knees will bend a little better. Let's see. If I go to that, assign that to thigh stretch R, go to thigh stretch L, assign that. What, I wonder what happens if I assign them to both, actually. Maybe that would actually solve the problem altogether. I actually didn't think of that. So that's still assigned to the leg as well? Okay, yeah. Let's just see what happens there. It might be a total mess, or it might solve all my problems. Not all my problems, but this problem. Yeah, both is not working. It's definitely not working with both. But I think if I just remove it from the leg, it'll probably work. It's worth a try though. Okay, so let's go back to white paint. And what I'm going to do is remove that from these ones. Okay, that should be better, right? No, it's kind of worse, which is odd. Yeah, I cannot get those knees to work. I might just need to have further articulation. So like, maybe if I included a foot joint, but they're supposed to be all one piece, that's the thing. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It should just pivot. What are the bones doing there? Oh, maybe that's why the pivot point isn't actually where it's supposed to be. Maybe if it was in the middle, that might be all that that was. Yeah, that, I have a feeling that will fix it. Or maybe not totally fix it, but it should make it better. Oops, I forgot. I gotta always match to rig after doing that. RueMC says, okay, I go bed. See you, RueMC. It's nice to meet you. Oh, you're in Canada. I see, I see. Yeah, it's probably later in Canada. Thanks for tuning in, though. Always appreciate the support. Glad you guys are entertained, at least to some degree. Okie dokie. And let's try it again. RueMC says, I sub. I know the pain. Thanks, RueMC. Much appreciated. Hopefully you don't get stuck with 3ds Max forever. Hopefully they'll fix that and you'll be able to use other programs. Okay, so that's a little better with this pivot point. I think I might switch the ball back to the lower piece though. Or even both again, because now that the pivot point is in the middle, I have a feeling that might actually keep it kind of in place. Strange as that sounds. RueMC says, I watch your paint next time. Thanks, RueMC. I might not even be weight painting and rigging next time, so maybe I won't be in pain, but if I am, well, yeah, you can watch. So yeah, let me add this back to this. Leg stretch R and leg stretch L. And now it'll be in both again. So let me just see what that looks like. And if that's no good, I'll just add it to the lower, and I think that's as good as I can hope for in that case. That's weird as hell. It's even deforming a bit, which is really strange. But it's not good, but it's not completely horrible. I don't know, there's something that kind of works about that. They're at least, oh no, it's still coming apart too. So it's not really, well, that piece is at least staying put though. That's kind of interesting. No, it's not. Never mind. I got confused for a second. Yeah, it's definitely getting. So it's basically just getting this weird deformation where it's shrinking. I guess just because it's in both groups and they're both trying to manipulate it equally. It's just kind of making it disappear. So yeah, let me just try to add that to the lower group only again, and that should be better. I don't know. I think it will be based on the pivot point. I've been wrong before though, and I'm sure I'll be wrong again. Even if not right now, you know, eventually. So we're looking at the thigh stretches, and we're gonna remove those from those, and then thigh stretch R, same deal, remove those, and final moment of truth for tonight. Wish me luck. Drum roll, please. No time for that. Oh, hey. It's not great. I don't love it. But it's better than it was. I'm gonna stick with that. I think that's as good as I can hope for. But then there's this little voice in my head that says, what if you just assigned it 50% to the upper leg? Did you even think of that, Daniel? That would just pull it up a little bit when it bends down like this, and it would kind of stay put. Or is it just that the pivot point needs to be higher? No, lower? All good thoughts. I think I will try that one last solution, which is to weight paint half of it for the upper leg and just see what happens, because it can't hurt any more than it already does. So we're gonna go thigh stretch R, put that at 50%, sign, thigh stretch L, put that one at 50%. Oops, not that one. That one at 50%, and assign. And what does that do? That might, if that does work the way I think it is gonna work, or might work. Ooh. That's really close to okay. It's shrinking a little bit too much, but actually do they both need to be 50%? Or does one need to be more than less than 50%? Maybe both. That sort of makes more logical sense. So if I made thigh stretch L, thigh stretch R, leg stretch R, let's make that one 50%. and then leg stretch L. Let's make that one 50%. Will that do the trick? Kind of looks the same, but it's a little more centered maybe? I could work with that, that's not terrible. Let me see what would happen if I did the opposite. What if I just make it so that the upper leg is has less control than 50%? And that way I would just shrink it less in theory, maybe? So like maybe, I don't know, 25%, maybe half of what it was. That might be too little. But let's give it a shot. One last shot. I promise. Ooh, it's kind of sticking more to the bottom now. I don't know if that's better, but it's not shrinking nearly as much. That is better. What is the solution? That's like pretty good. That's not terrible. I'll work with that. His legs would also never bend that much anyway. He would just kind of be like this more. Because his feet are going to be flat. So even if he's bending his legs a lot, it'll look more like this at worst. That's probably fine, dude. I'm probably overthinking it. Let's see, I hate how these are falling down now. So I should know how to fix this now though. Because if I assign those to 50% the root, that should actually fix it. So maybe do that. Oh, you know what? I can keep them in the pose too, and it'll show me the result right away. That's a good idea. Okay. Oops, not that. Let's go to white paint. And then let's go to the root. Let's just hit L. Let's just assign it 25%. Interesting. Let's assign it 50%. Oops, I accidentally assigned both of those. I just wanted to do this one. So that's interesting. It does in fact pull that up there. That's kind of not too bad. And then I wonder what if I did the, let's see, what are we looking at here? The thigh stretch bone group, R and L. And what if I just assigned this a little bit less than 100%? Like what if we did like 75%? Then it goes up a little more. So that's not what I had in mind initially, but it's better than the result that I was getting. So maybe that's this sort of compromise here. And maybe that would also work for this, if you think about it, right? Because what if I assign this whole thing only 50%? That didn't really seem to change anything. Oh, I know. What if I assigned it to the root 50%? That's what I was thinking. Interesting. That's not really helping. Okay, worth a try though. I could see how that could sort of fix things though. So for root, we're gonna assign this 1.0. And then for thigh stretch R, if I can find that one again. What was it on the other side for thigh stretch L? It's what is that? I'll just have to wing it and figure it out. I don't know what that color is. %, yeah, something like that. And so that's probably as good as I can get right now. And I could probably do something similar with the arms. I wish I could change the default position of the poles, but I can't really do that. I can change the shape. I can change where the shape starts, but not where the actual poles are angled. Darth Hylian says, where do you usually get your textures from? I sometimes make procedural textures, and I also go to, there's this really cool Patreon. I've gone to CG Access before and a couple other places and got packs. But now what I do is I get PBRs from, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I'll look up his Patreon real quick. It's $5 a month and you get his whole library of textures. It's this guy, Mr. Darth Hylian. It's Joao Paulo? I don't know how to say his name. I'm so sorry, I'm butchering it. But yeah, this dude is amazing. He makes all these textures. He just makes them and adds to his library every month. He adds new textures. And it's just full of like almost anything you could want, especially as far as like basic stuff goes. It's really great. Yeah, it's an awesome library. You have access to everything for just $5. So I highly recommend his stuff. It's great. I pay every month for his Patreon because it's I just like seeing the new ones he puts out and everything. And it's cheap. It's $5. So I think it's $5, or is it $10? Actually, I don't remember. It's a good question. Yeah, it's $5 a month. Tier 3. There's other tiers too, I guess, which is, I don't know what the difference is, but I pay for the tier 3. Yeah, highly recommend his stuff. Good textures. You can also just go to, like, for some basic stuff, I used to go to CG Bookcase a lot. I think is the one where they have a bunch of free ones. Still quite a bit wonky, but I think he's working generally. I'll probably mess with his elbow joints the same way I mess with his knee joints and stuff. Darth Hylian says, "Oh neat, thanks for the recommendation. I'm gonna head off. See you later." Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a day too. I made pretty good progress with this guy. I think this is at least usable now, even if it's not perfect. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching me struggle through, you know, the lower circles of hell, trying to rig this dude. It's fun. Made some progress, learned some stuff about how it wasn't all auto-rig Pro's fault, it was also my own rigging inadequacies, which is usually the case. but it was also Roderick Pro's fault. So, yeah, compromise. Anywho, thanks for tuning in. Always appreciate the support. Thanks for the new subs. That's super cool to see. It's cool to see the channel growing. I really do appreciate that. And feel free to join the Discord if you guys want to hang out and talk about game dev or art or whatever. That's growing too. It's about double the size that it was last month, so it's making progress. And I will be streaming again tomorrow night, and I'll see y'all then if you want to tune in. Otherwise, you can catch me some other time. You can always watch the recordings too. So thanks again. Gonna sign off. See y'all. Bye bye.